Welcome to the Near Still Waters podcast, where we journey together towards clarity and calm in the midst of life's storms. Hi, I'm your host, Susie Lubbers, a wife, a life coach, and a mama to 7 amazing grown children. Having homeschooled all of my children, including my special needs child, I've navigated the challenges of raising them and experienced the bittersweet moments of letting go. This journey has not been about teaching academics, but also about discovering how to find peace and purpose through every season of life. You can learn more about me and my mission at nearstillwaters.ca. In this space, we're dedicated to empowering moms. Whether you're in the trenches of homeschooling, navigating special needs parenting, seeking to rediscover your own passions after years of putting others first, you're not alone. Together, we'll explore strategies to bring clarity into the chaos of motherhood and uncover ways to cultivate calm within ourselves, even while accomplishing the hard things. Each episode will share stories, practical tips, inspirational guidance to help you embrace your journey with grace, resilience, and faith. So grab a cup of coffee, take a deep breath, and let's step into a space of learning and growth. Welcome to the Near Still Waters podcast, where your journey to clarity and peace begins. Hey friends, today I want to talk with you about something a little different than what I usually do. But what I'd like to talk to you about is what I would do differently if I could start homeschooling over again. If I could sit down with my younger self, I would give her lots of advice because I'd have a lot to say. I'd look back on those early years. I was full of excitement. I was full of doubts. I was full of trial and error. And I can't help but think that if only I had known what I know now. That's exactly why I'm making this video, to help you avoid the mistakes that I made. In this video, I'll be sharing the biggest lessons I'd learned as a homeschool mom, what I would change if I could go back, the things that I wish I had worried less about, and what actually mattered the most. So whether you're just starting out or you're a few years in, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's talk about what I'd do differently if I could start school all over again. So let me take you back to my first year of homeschooling. I remember sitting at my kitchen table with stacks of curriculum, feeling excited, but also completely overwhelmed. I thought, I have to do it all. I have to create the perfect schedule, cover every subject thoroughly, and make sure my kids stayed on track with what the schools were doing. Looking back, I realized I was stressing over the wrong things. Here are 3 things I wish I had known from the beginning. I wish I had known that less is more. In the early years, I bought way too much curriculum. I felt like I needed every subject, every workbook, every educational resource out there. What have I learned? Quality over quantity. Instead of overloading your kids, focus on what truly sparks their curiosity. And that builds a solid foundation. So, if you're overwhelmed by curriculum choices, start with just the basics: reading, writing, and math. You can always add more later. The second thing I would tell my younger self is that you do not have to recreate school at home. In my first year, I thought homeschool had to look exactly like a traditional school: strict schedules, formal lessons, and a rigid structure. But the beauty of homeschooling is that it can be flexible to fit your family's lifestyle. Learning happens everywhere, not just at your desk. I remember when I first started homeschooling my older children, I used a Becca books. It was a great curriculum. They learned well on it and they thrived under it. But I felt like I had to do every worksheet they recommended. And there was a lot. I look back on what they did and it was unbelievable what I expected of them for their age level. It was absolutely not necessary. It did affect my relationship with our children. It does not have to be that way. If I could change that, I would change that. Find a rhythm that works for your family, whether it's morning lessons or afternoon learning or a mixture of both. Just do what works for your family. Your child's pace matters way more than the curriculum. I used to stress about keeping up, doing exactly what they thought I should do, make sure they were at their grade level. But every child learns at their own pace, and that's okay. What matters is progress, not perfection. You will never have a perfect homeschool, but your child will get there in their own time. So instead of worrying about grade levels, focus on skills building and a love for learning. Now, let's talk about what I would do differently if I could homeschool over again. I would focus more on relationships and less on the rigor. In the beginning, I was so focused on the academics that I sometimes forgot the most important part, the relationship with my kids. Homeschooling isn't just about education, it's about connection. When the relationship is strong, learning happens more naturally. So, if your child is struggling with a subject, reconnect. Go for a walk, read a book together, or just talk. Let it go as it should go. Hey there, homeschool mama. Can I ask you something? Have you ever felt exhausted, overwhelmed, and like you're running on empty? Like no matter how hard you try, homeschooling just isn't bringing the joy it used to? I want you to know that you're not alone. I've been there, stuck in the cycle of burnout, frustration, and guilt. But I also found a way forward. And that's exactly why I created Beyond Burnout for the Homeschool Mom. This isn't just another homeschool planner or to do list, it's a workbook designed to help you move from disconnection to connection, exhaustion to renewal, and stress to peace. Inside this workbook, you'll find practical steps to identify the real causes of your burnout, strategies for self care that actually fits your homeschool life, biblical encouragement to realign your heart and mind, tools to help you set boundaries, prioritize what matters, and rediscover joy in your homeschool journey. Mama, you don't have to stay stuck in burnout. There is a way through, and this workbook will help you take the first step. Grab your copy of Beyond Burnout for the Homeschool Mom today on Amazon. You'll find the link in the show notes because you deserve a homeschool life that's not just surviving, but thriving. If I could homeschool again, I'd let go of the comparison sooner. Comparison stole my joy in those early days. I could see what other homeschool moms were doing, and the kids seemed to advance, and I hear about their perfect homeschool routine and wonder if I was doing enough. The truth, no two homeschool journeys are the same. And that's actually a good thing because we're individuals. Your child is an individual. Focus on your child, your family, and what works for you. And don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. The third thing I would do would be to make more room for interest-led learning. I wish I had followed my kids' interests more instead of sticking so rigidly to the curriculum. When kids are excited about a topic, they learn naturally and they retain information better. It took me a few years to learn that. I'm telling you today so you don't make the same mistake. If your child is obsessed with a topic, like space, animals, or history, lean into it. Let them read, explore, and learn through their own curiosity. Now let's talk about the things that I wish had not mattered to me, that really didn't matter in the long run, but that I did worry about. So, the first thing I often worried about was that homeschool schedule. I spent way too much time stressing over schedules and routines. Reality, homeschool schedules change constantly. Find a flexible routine, not a rigid schedule, and leave room for real life. Another thing I worried about was the fear of falling behind. Are we doing enough? Are we behind? But the truth is, kids learn in seasons. Some years they'll fly ahead, some years they'll slow down, and that's okay. Stop focusing on where you should be and start focusing on how you're growing. So get a journal out and start making notes about each child and where they're at. In a few months, see what they've learned. Write it down and then see how far they've come instead of focusing on what they don't do. Focus on what they do. Another thing I wouldn't do in my homeschool, if I could do it over again, is I would not care about what other people thought. I used to feel so insecure when people questioned me about our homeschool decision. Now I learned that what works for my family doesn't need anyone else's approval. Find confidence in knowing why you homeschool and don't let other people's opinions shake you. So, friend, if you're just starting out, or even if you've been homeschooling for a few years, I just want to say that you're doing better than you think. Homeschooling is a journey and not a race. You don't have to have it all figured out right now, and you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to show up, love your kids, and trust that the small daily moments of learning and connection are what truly matter. I read something the other day. It said about a woman that she had hoped to accomplish great things. Instead, she had to learn that she was accomplishing great things by teaching her child to write a letter, smiling into her child's face, making a meal for her child and her family. And in the long run, through that, she was accomplishing the great things that she wished to accomplish. So it's in the small things that great things happen. So here's my challenge to you. If you could start over, what's one thing you would do differently? Drop a comment below because I'd love to see what you have to say. If you found this helpful, I'd love for you to subscribe for more encouragement like this. You've got this, Mama. And even on the hardest days, God's grace is enough.